From the wonder of childhood to the wisdom of old age, life unfolds in 5 stages, each one testing whether we keep learning or quietly grow old. Let's walk that path and see what it really takes to keep the flame alive. The sun strips everything away in the desert. Your pretenses, your carefully crafted image, the comfortable lies you tell yourself about who you are. Out here, where survival hangs by a thread and water is worth more than gold, the masks we wear in civilization become deadly weight we cannot afford to carry. A child stumbles through the dunes, lost, separated from the caravan. No compass, no map, just the burning sand beneath bare feet and the merciless sun overhead. But watch what happens. The child doesn't think about image or reputation, doesn't worry about looking foolish. When thirst claws at their throat, they cry out. When fear grips their chest, they weep openly. When they spot a distant shadow that might mean shelter, they run toward it without shame or hesitation. This is survival in its purest form. No mask, no pretense, just the raw, unfiltered truth of need. The desert child teaches us something we forget as we grow. Authenticity isn't a choice in the wasteland. It's the difference between life and death. Years pass. The same child, now a teenager, travels with a new group across the endless dunes. But something has changed. The teen has learned that others are watching, judging. They've discovered the intoxicating power of the mirage. Not just the shimmering illusions that dance on the horizon, but the mirages we create of ourselves. Watch as they swagger past the watering hole, pretending they're not desperately thirsty. See them bite back cries of pain when the scorching sand burns through worn boots. They've crafted a mask of desert toughness, convinced that showing weakness will get them cast out from the group. But here's the cruel irony. While they're busy maintaining this exhausting performance, they miss the real oasis 20 yards to the left. Their mask blinds them to salvation. The teenager learns that in the desert of identity, sometimes the faces we show others become traps we cannot escape. Now picture that same soul, grown into a young adult, leading their first expedition across the vast wasteland. They've learned something dangerous. Masks can be tools. Different faces for different tribes. With the Bedouin traders, they wear the mask of the seasoned negotiator. Around the campfire with fellow travelers, they don the face of the fearless guide. When approaching the territorial nomads, they present themselves as the humble pilgrim. Each mask serves a purpose. Each face opens a door. But watch what happens as the sun beats down day after day. The young adult becomes a master performer, switching between personas as easily as changing clothes. They tell the traders they know these dunes like the back of their hand, while secretly consulting their compass when no one's looking. They promise fellow travelers safe passage, while privately praying they won't lose anyone to the shifting sands. The strategy works. They survive. But late at night, alone under the star-drunk sky, they stare into the dying embers of the campfire and wonder, which face is real? They've become so skilled at wearing different masks that they've lost track of what lies beneath them all. Decades in the desert have made our traveler a master of survival. They now lead entire caravans, responsible for dozens of lives crossing the unforgiving wasteland. The weight of leadership sits heavy on their shoulders, And with it comes an arsenal of masks, each one carefully crafted for maximum effect. There's the mask of unwavering confidence they wear when scouts report sandstorms ahead, even when their hands shake with fear. The face of infinite patience they show when dealing with panicked travelers, even when their own anxiety claws at their chest. The expression of certain knowledge they display when choosing which route to take, even when every path looks identical and potentially fatal. But here's what they've discovered. In the desert of responsibility, every mask becomes a prison. The confident leader cannot show doubt. The patient guide cannot reveal frustration. The knowledgeable expert cannot admit confusion. They've become trapped in their own performance, carrying not just the weight of supplies and survival, but the crushing burden of maintaining facades that everyone depends on. Watch them at the oasis, surrounded by grateful travelers who praise their leadership. They smile and nod, playing their role perfectly. But inside, they're dying of thirst. Not for water, but for someone to see who they really are beneath all these necessary masks. Our desert wanderer has grown old now. Their skin is leather, carved by wind and sun into a map of countless journeys. Their eyes hold the depth of someone who has seen mirages dissolve and real oases appear. And something profound has changed. Sitting by the evening fire, teaching young travelers the ways of the desert, they do something revolutionary. They remove their masks. Not all at once, that would be too jarring, too dangerous. But slowly, carefully, like a master craftsman dismantling a structure they spent decades building. They tell the young ones about the time they got lost for 3 days, surviving on cactus water and prayer. They speak of the caravan they couldn't save from the sandstorm, and how that failure still wakes them in the night. They admit they've made wrong turns, trusted false guides, and sometimes chosen routes based on nothing more than desperate hope. And something miraculous happens. Instead of losing respect, they gain something infinitely more valuable: connection. The young travelers don't see weakness, they see wisdom. They don't see failure, they see humanity. The elder has learned the desert's final lesson. The truest mask is no mask at all. Here, by our fire, away from the endless dunes and scorching sun, we can see the truth clearly. The masks we wear aren't inherently evil. Sometimes they're necessary survival tools. The professional face that gets us through the workday, the strong facade that helps us support others, the brave mask that carries us through crisis. But like any tool, masks become dangerous when we forget they're temporary, when we mistake the desert performance for our true nature, when we're so busy maintaining our various faces that we lose sight of the oasis right in front of us. The fire reminds us, authenticity is not about never wearing masks. It's about remembering what burns beneath them all. It's about knowing when to put them on, and more importantly, when to take them off. So ask yourself, in the desert of your life, what masks have become prisons? What faces are you wearing that no longer serve you? And who in your life deserves to see the person behind the performance? The desert strips everything away, but sometimes that's exactly what we need to find our way home.